In October 2014, 24-year-old Lillian Hart arrived in New Orleans for what was supposed to be a weekend getaway. Lillian was a freelance travel photographer, known for her adventurous spirit and love for exploring old, historic places. She had a small but loyal following online, where she documented her journeys to forgotten towns, abandoned buildings, and haunted landmarks. She had come to New Orleans to photograph the city's unique architecture and vibrant nightlife. Friends recalled that she was excited but strangely anxious before the trip. In a text to her sister the night before, she wrote, "Found this old hotel online. Cheap, but kind of creepy. Perfect for photos. I'll tell you all about it when I get back." The Hotel Duval. Lillian checked into the Hotel Duval, a decaying building on the edge of the French Quarter. The hotel, once grand, had fallen into disrepair. Faded wallpaper peeled from the walls, and the smell of mildew lingered in the air. Locals often avoided the place, whispering about its dark history, though few knew the details. The front desk clerk described Lillian as polite but tired. She checked in at 11:42 p.m., paid in cash, and specifically asked for room 6B. When asked later, the clerk swore he didn't remember ever giving her that room, saying he thought 6B was permanently closed for renovations. Still, the logbook clearly showed her signature and the number 6B written beside it. Security footage from the lobby shows Lillian entering the elevator alone, her rolling suitcase behind her. The elevator doors closed at 11:47 p.m. That was the last confirmed sighting of Lillian Hart. The discovery. The next morning, a housekeeper went to clean room 6B, expecting to find it occupied. Instead, she discovered something strange. The room was perfectly pristine, as if no one had ever stayed there. The bed was tightly made. Towels were neatly folded. The bathroom was completely dry. There was no luggage, no clothes, no personal belongings whatsoever. It was as though Lillian had never been there at all. The housekeeper reported this to the front desk. When the manager checked the booking records, he grew visibly shaken. According to the system, room 6B didn't exist. The hotel's current floor plan showed only 5 rooms on the 6th floor, 6A, 6C, 6D, 6E, and 6F. There was no mention of 6B anywhere, yet the logbook showed Lillian had been assigned to it. The CCTV footage. Police were called immediately. Detectives reviewed the hotel's surveillance cameras for clues. The lobby camera clearly showed Lillian arriving, checking in, and entering the elevator. But the elevator camera feed went blank the moment the doors closed. It didn't glitch or freeze, it simply cut to black for exactly 6 minutes, returning only after the elevator came back down empty. Even stranger, the camera in the 6th floor hallway captured something deeply unsettling. At 3:17 a.m., the door to room 6B slowly swung open on its own. The inside of the room was completely dark. For just a brief moment, a tall, shadowy figure appeared in the doorway. Its head tilted unnaturally to the side, as though it was looking directly into the camera. Then, without warning, the feed cut out. When technicians tried to recover the missing footage, they found only corrupted files filled with static and a faint, rhythmic whispering sound. The hotel's history. As detectives dug deeper, they uncovered the disturbing past of Hotel Duval. In the 1940s, room 6B had been the site of a grisly murder. A traveling salesman named Arthur Bellamy was found brutally killed inside the room. The case was notorious, walls smeared with strange symbols, no clear motive, and no suspect ever identified. Soon after, a string of unexplained events plagued the hotel. Guests staying in 6B complained of whispers in the dark and waking up to see a figure standing at the foot of their bed. Several guests went missing entirely, their belongings left behind. In 1952, a maid cleaning the room was found dead, her face frozen in a look of terror. The owners quietly sealed off room 6B, bricking over the door and renumbering the surrounding rooms to hide its existence. By the 1970s, the hotel stopped mentioning the incident altogether. But older locals still referred to it as the cursed room. Lillian's obsession. Investigators discovered that Lillian had been researching haunted locations before her trip. On her laptop, recovered from her home, there were dozens of bookmarked articles about Room 6B, including conspiracy forums and old newspaper clippings about the 1940s murder. One note in her digital journal read, "If I can get into 6B, it'll be my biggest story yet. Need proof. No one will believe me otherwise." It became clear that Lillian had intentionally requested Room 6B, likely bribing someone or finding a way past hotel policies. But why? What did she hope to capture in her photos? Theories and evidence. With no physical evidence of Lillian's stay, theories spread like wildfire. Theory 1, human crime. Some believed a hotel employee or guest abducted her. But there were no signs of forced entry, and every other guest on the 6th floor was accounted for. No fingerprints, no DNA, no trace of a struggle. Theory 2, urban legend come to life. Others speculated that Room 6B itself was somehow cursed or supernatural. The idea of a ghost room appearing only to certain people fascinated paranormal researchers. Some even suggested that Lillian hadn't been murdered or kidnapped, but rather taken by the room itself, swallowed into whatever dark force lingered there. Theory 3, the shadow figure. The hallway footage showing the tall figure at 3:17 a.m. became infamous online after a leaked copy was shared. Skeptics dismissed it as a trick of light or a hoax. Believers claimed it was proof of something inhuman, tied to the original murder. The way the figure tilted its head was described as unnervingly deliberate, like it knew we were watching. A disturbing discovery. 2 weeks after Lillian's disappearance, a maintenance worker reported a foul smell coming from the 6th floor's walls. Police ordered a section of plaster to be removed. Behind the wall, they discovered a hidden, bricked-off doorway. Above the doorway was a faded metal plate, 6B. When they broke through, they found a small, dust-covered room. Inside were decaying remnants of 1940s furniture and peeling wallpaper. In the center of the room sat an old wooden chair, perfectly upright, as though waiting for someone. The air was icy cold, despite the humid Louisiana climate. On the floor lay a single Polaroid photograph. It was recent. The image showed Lillian, standing in the doorway of Room 6B, looking over her shoulder with wide, terrified eyes. Behind her, in the darkness of the room, loomed the same tall figure seen in the hallway footage. The hotel shuts down. After this discovery, Hotel Duval was immediately closed by city officials. The owners denied knowledge of the hidden room, though their records suggested otherwise. The building remains abandoned to this day, with chain-link fencing surrounding it. Despite warnings, thrill-seekers often sneak inside, claiming to hear footsteps and whispers near the 6th floor. Locals report that at exactly 3:17 a.m., lights can sometimes be seen flickering in the boarded-up windows, followed by the faint sound of a door creaking open. Unanswered questions. Lillian Hart was never found. Her family continues to search for answers, refusing to believe she simply vanished. The Polaroid photo remains in police custody, its authenticity confirmed by forensic experts. Detectives involved in the case have privately admitted they avoid discussing it. One retired officer, when pressed, gave a chilling statement. "There are places in this world where the rules don't apply. Room 6B isn't just a room. It's a trap, waiting for the right kind of person to step inside." The legend lives on. Today, Room 6B has become an urban legend, inspiring countless internet theories and ghost hunting videos. Some believe that Lillian is still alive, trapped in another dimension or reliving the night of her disappearance endlessly. Others claim the shadow figure was Arthur Bellamy, the murdered salesman, now a permanent resident of the cursed room. The scariest part? Several people who have investigated the case have gone missing themselves. Each disappearance occurred on the anniversary of Lillian's last known sighting. The final piece of evidence emerged last year, when a local explorer posted a blurry photo online before disappearing without a trace. The image showed the hallway of the 6th floor, and a door marked 6B, standing wide open. Through the doorway, just barely visible, was a figure tilting its head, as if beckoning the viewer to come closer. To this day, the mystery of room 6B remains unsolved. If you ever find yourself in New Orleans and stumble upon an old, crumbling hotel with a boarded-up 6th floor, remember this. Some doors should never be opened. And if you hear a creak at 3:17 a.m., don't look back.